Brother, I advise you, don't even touch that, brother. You're going to put yourself in sin. We're reading the curses of God. You got to listen up and start repenting, understanding who you are. That's why we're here today in St. Vincent as slaves. We are still slaves today because we sinned against God. We didn't hearken unto the voice of the Lord, our God. You're going to be sold unto the white man for slave man and slave woman, and no man going to save us. Open up 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Because sin is a three-letter word. But he has 10 persons. You got 10 different answers what is sin in the Bible. That's why we're out here today, brother. To bring our people back to Christ by teaching them God's laws. Teaching them not to sin. You understand? We're going to prove it, everything that we said today from the Holy Bible. Read what you got.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
Hey brother, you heard that? Brother, who going in the right jersey? He said, whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law. Read.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
For sin is breaking God's laws. You heard about the Sabbath day? The 7th day of the week? Hey brother, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, old baller. He's an old school baller. You heard about the Sabbath, right? Where could you find the Sabbath in the Bible? Yeah, the Sabbath. I'll show you. I'm going to show you. Give me that in Exodus 31, verse 15. Because that's what we're teaching out here today, to come back to God. We're not teaching hatred. We're teaching love towards God, bringing our people back together to love one another. And by loving one another, which means that you're loving Christ and you're loving God. You understand? Exodus 31.
Exodus chapter 31 and verse 15. 6 days may work be done, but in the 7th is the Sabbath of rest.
He says 6 days may work be done. From Sunday to Friday evening, you can cook, you can sell, you can wash. You understand? But in the 7th day, which is today, on your calendar that you have in your houses, the first day of the week starts when? Sunday. Read.
Holy to the Lord, whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death.
Hear what the Bible says? He, that what?
He shall surely be put to death.
Read from the beginning there.
Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death.
So the Holy Bible says, he that do any work on the Sabbath day shall surely be put to death. Just like Eve in the garden, she didn't die at the same day, but eventually she died. Bro, you understand me so far? You following so far? Because the Bible says what? The wages of sin is what? Death. The wages of sin is death. If you don't keep the Sabbath day, you're building up sin. So it means eventually the Most High will kill you. Read.
Continue.
Continue.
Exodus chapter 31, verse 16. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath to observe.
Hey, wait a second, brother. Read it again. Brother.
Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath.
Who did it say to keep the Sabbath day? Huh? Israel. Very important that the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath holy. Now the big question is, brother, the big question, you call yourself a Vincent, right? So who's an Israelite in the Bible? Who's an Israelite today? Who's Israel today? Huh? Thank you for asking. Thank you for saying that. Because what we're teaching today that, hey, we are the Israelites in the Bible. All 12 tribes on the chart right here, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That's what we're teaching, that we are the Israelites. You understand? Let me prove it to you from the Holy Bible. I'm going to prove it to you. Deuteronomy chapter 28.
Bring it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, start at verse 15. Because we just read, if you break God's law, it's a sin. Right? And it said, the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, which means shall keep the laws of God. But the children of Israel They didn't keep the laws of God. They sinned against God. They sinned against God, the children of Israel. So I'm going to show it to you from the Holy Bible. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Moses spoke to the children of Israel, brother. Moses spoke to the children of Israel in the wilderness coming out of Egypt, saying, if you sinned, if you break God's laws, if you don't keep the Sabbath day, that curses gonna come upon you. Is curses good or bad? Curses. Curse. Somebody curse. If God curse you, is that good? No, it's bad. It's a bad thing. Old school. Pay attention. Pay attention. Forget about the sisters, right? Pay attention. He said the children of Israel sinned, so God put curses upon them. You understand? We're going to read the curses. Verse 46.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So they, talking about the curses, going to be upon you for a sign. What does a sign do? Old school. What does a sign do? Yeah. A sign identifies, right? Because you see the sign right here in the building here. That identifies that is the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So the curses that God put upon Israel is to identify them today in the land that they've been scattered. So that you're God's chosen people. You sinned against him. You broke his laws. You understand? Verse 41. 41. Here we see. Next slide. Hey, old school. We identify you by the curses that's written against us. Proving that, hey, we are God's chosen people. Verse 41.
Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them.
So the curses say you're going to have sons and daughters. You're going to make children, but you're not going to enjoy them. You're not going to enjoy them. Why?
For they shall go into captivity.
What's another name for captivity? Slavery. Slavery. You see, you're not going to enjoy your sons and your daughters, for they shall go into slavery. That's what we're teaching there today. You see this poster we have here? Come over. Come closer, take a look. This poster is talking about the transatlantic slave trade. Right. I'm sure you heard about slavery, right? Who went into slavery? Black people went into slavery. Right. Correct? What means that transportation was used to take them into slavery? Ships. Ships. Boats. You were a fisherman too. Old school. Old school. Old school. Hey brother, you were a fisherman too as well, right? You were a fisherman. I knew you were. Long time ago. He said, hey, brother, he said we will enjoy with sons and daughters, but they shall go into slavery. Slavery is Bible prophecy.
Right. Right.
When we sinned against God by not keeping his laws, by not keeping the commandments, God said, I'm going to put curses upon you. One of the curses is you're going to spend over 400 years in chattel slavery.
That's right.
The means of transportation for slavery was ships, boats. Look at right here. This is right here. Prophesied also in the Holy Bible. Moses spoke to us. Our forefathers in the wilderness.
Bring it out.
We're going to prove it to you. The Bible says, prove all things.
That's right.
We're going to prove what we are teaching. Verse 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Old school. Egypt means slavery, bondage. He said, you going back into bondage by ships. Cargo slave ships. In the 1600s, our sons and our daughters, our fathers and mothers was taken from the land or the continent of Africa and scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. Bible prophecy being fulfilled for sin. Like today is the Sabbath day and you want to cook on the Sabbath day, you sinned against God. He said, I'm going to put curses upon you. You understand? Read on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Say, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies. There is talking about the land you are taken as slaves.
Right.
We were sold on auction blocks. Slave auction blocks. Look at right here. Where is it? Where's the chart? Look at right here. And we're proving. We are giving you a visual of what we are teaching.
That's right.
We've been sold in slavery. In St. Vincent, we have been sold as slaves, our sons and daughters. Our fathers and mothers being sold as slaves. Here's it. Look at right here. Auction blocks being sold, our sons and daughters. Nigga here, $20. Nigga here, $50. Old school. Old school, you understand what we're teaching? You understand? You follow me? Read on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
You heard that? We're going to be sold unto our enemies. Old school. Who been selling us in slavery? Who was buying and selling us in slavery in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
You know?
What race of people? What race of people? You know about slavery, right? You know, you never seen a slave movie? Like Roots? You saw Roots, right? That's an old movie, right? Who were the slaves? Blacks, right? No. Who were the slave masters? Huh? No. The slave masters was the white man today.
Right.
That's right.
He said, you shall be. Read it again. Hear what the word of God being prophesied against us. He would say,
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
He's going to bring you into slavery by ships, sister. Read.
By the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
You're going to be sold by the white man for slave man and slave woman. Read.
And no man shall buy you.
It said, me, no man going to redeem you. Old school. No man going to save you. Brother, I advise you, don't even touch that, brother. You're going to put yourself in sin. We're reading the courses of God. You got to listen up and start repenting, understanding who you are. That's why we're here today in St. Vincent as slaves. We are still slaves today because we sinned against God. We didn't hearken unto the voice of the Lord, our God. You're going to be sold unto the white man for slave man and slave woman, and no man going to save us. In St. Vincent here, we had Joseph Chatelier. He tried to save us. What happened to him? He was captured, taken to another land, and assassinated. His family, his closest relatives, was taken from St. Vincent and sent to another land to work as slaves.
That's right.
They went into slavery also by ships, taken from St. Vincent here. Most of them were taken to the island over there, Balasu. That dry rock over there. Taken from the lush land and taken to the dry rock and placed over there. That is Bible prophecy that happened to our people. The so-called blacks today, the so-called Caribs in the land of St. Vincent. We are still slaves today.
Right.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation